entire username is Clockwise is a great developer.
Alright.
It says streamed 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I
3
found it. I
views.
found the actual one. Found it. Yeah, I found it though.
I tried. It says streamed 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I found it. I found the actual one. Found it. Okay. Hito. Oh my god. I know. Hito. You're stunned. You're stunned. And I'm gonna stun you guys today by... What should I teach you?
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, alright, shut up, dog. Alright, so we're gonna start by making a combat system. Okay. It's gonna be a very simple one. Pretty chill, you know. So what we're gonna start by doing is we're gonna go to starter character, and the reason we're not putting it in starter player scripts is because in starter character scripts, every time you rejoin, the script's gonna reset, which is kind of what we want here. So we're just gonna go here, and I'm gonna format this as if it's a kit, so almost anyone can use it. So we're gonna call this combat.client-client. Alright, and then let's zoom in here. So we're gonna start by going user input service. Then we gotta get replicated storage. Yep. Then you want to get where is it? Run service. You also want to get players. Want to get the character, which is going to be, well, since this is in starter character scripts, we're just going to put it. It's going to be put inside the character. So we can just say script.parent for character. And when you put these 2 colon marks right here, you're referencing the type. You're telling the script what it should be. The script doesn't actually know that, but we know it's going to be a model. Then there's a humanoid. So we're going to say humanoid or character colon find first child, which is a humanoid. And we don't have to put humanoid here since this is an automatic. This is an auto referencer for types. It's an automatic type. Reference, which is referenced by find first child, which is referencing the type. So you say is a type. Okay. Now we're gonna go local animator humanoid find first child, which is a animator, and then the root part character find first child humanoid root part. Good. And we're gonna reference this as a base part. A base part can also be a regular part. For now, it's a base part, which makes up a physical model that moves. Alright.
Like a damn math teacher.
So let me know once you've caught up there. We're gonna blitz through this.
Blitz, eh?
Yeah, blitz. You know what I mean?
I don't know what a blitz is.
What? Like you're going super fast.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, just shut up. Okay. And now all we're really gonna do is we're gonna go user input service. Dot input began connect function input GPE. So what this means is, so you have your user input service, which we got by saying get service. This service is for input. You can track mouse input, keyboard input, controller input, whatever type of input. Just anything that involves you interacting with your screen, okay, your game. Input is the actual input object, okay, so this is an input object. The same thing here when we put 1. This is because it's inside the parameters, so we only need 1, but we're pretty much saying this is an input object. And then GPE, it means game processed event. Game processed event means when you're interacting with anything inside of the game that isn't, let's say, necessary, like part of the actual gameplay experience. So we have the chat box, and we also have like your settings menu. Okay, so we're gonna say if game processed event, then we're gonna return. Return means we're not gonna continue with the code anymore. All right, pretty simple. Then we're gonna say if input.user input type is equal to enum.user input type.mouse button 1. So we're just gonna check the type of input, and it can either be mouse button 1, 2, or 3. 1 being left mouse button, 2 being right mouse button, 3 being middle mouse button. Okay, pretty simple. And then the rest, we're not going to do too much on the client here. We're going to do most of it on the server and replicate it back to the client. Okay, then in replicated storage, we're going to create a folder here, and we're going to call this combat. Okay, and inside of this, I think we'll have one for assets, and we'll have one for library, and I think we'll have one for components. Okay, then inside of this, I will obviously be giving you guys these files in the kit, but for now we just gotta go and get packet made by Sufi Kaner. Pretty fire here. It's what I like to use, and we're literally just gonna call it remote, or we're gonna call it packet. Okay,
You flying by me, coach.
pretty easy. You guys don't gotta read this, but I'll show you guys how to use it. It's pretty easy. Okay,
Yo, you can't just say that. You can't just say that. I don't know what else you were supposed to say. Continue on.
finished.
Hell no.
Dog.
Hey man.
Okay,
It's my
and then
first
inside
day.
of the components, what we want to do inside the components is we want to go in here. We're going to create a module script, and we're going to call this packet. Throw the packets inside the packet, and then in here we're just going to say local packets script.packets local class return class, and we're just going to say class weapon swing equals packet. Alright, just like this. And then you actually want to give it a action name. That's always got to be the first one. So we're going to say weapon swing, and we're going to ask for the instance, and which is in this case going to be the player. Alright, that's what it means. Alright, I'm just going to give you guys a couple more examples. If we were to say we wanted an option, so we'll say, so this is an instance. This is a boolean 1 through 8. Alright, it can either be a table or, you know, just choose 8 for now. There's a boolean number. It's a set, which means it'd have to be like true 1, you know. There's also, what else is there? Color 3, break color, buffer, you guys don't gotta worry about. Characters, which is a bunch of strings, any string, and if it's optional, you do any 2 colon marks, and then, or I think it's 1, and then yeah, you do any 2 colon marks, and you could do like player, which means it can be a player, you don't have to put it there. Alright, what?
It's like that packet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, hold
Give it
up.
to me now.
Hold up.
Now. I need it.
One momento, guys.
This is how you do drug deals.
Yeah. One momento.
My family gonna be so happy when they put me up with the hotel.
Okay, I'm back. Alright, so now once you have this, you're going to go back to the combat client, and we're just going to reference it. We're going to go local combat package, replicated storage.combat, local assets, combat package.assets, local library, combat package.library, local components, combat package. I didn't even spell that right. There we go. Then we're gonna go local packet component components dot packet. All right, and then here we're just gonna go packet component dot weapon swing fire with the character. Okay. So just before we move on to the server side, we're just going to go over what we did here. So we made a local script and starter character scripts, okay, called the combat client. We put it in starter character script so the stuns and everything resets every time you join the game. And then what we did is we referenced the services here. Then we referenced the character and his sub parts, I guess, his humanoid animator primary part. Then we created a folder and replicated storage with assets, library, and component folders. And inside the components, we added a module script named packet with the library made by Sufi Kaner inside packets, which is pretty much used for remotes. Okay. Now the reason we use this is because whenever you fire a remote, usually I'm pretty sure it's like you send over 14 bytes of data. But with this, since it puts it all into one, all you gotta know is you use 10 times less. Alright, so you got 10 times less the memory. Or bits, right? Yeah. And then once the player interacts with the input, we're gonna check if he's game processed. So that means if he's interacting with the chat or the menu or like a text box or something. Then if the user input type is mouse button 1, then we are going to fire the weapon swing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now inside server script service, we're just going to keep it nice and simple. We're going to create a script here. We're going to call this combat-server. And we're going to reference replicated storage. What else do we need? We might need server storage. No one really knows. Server storage. Players. We also need run service.
No dip Sherlock Holmes. Blah, blah, blah.
We might need tween service. Alright, pretty nice. Then we got combat package, assets, library, components. Alright, pretty chill so far. Then, so all we did was re-reference the services up here. Then we referenced our replicated storage folders.
Come on, Beta, go faster.
Okay.
I'm kidding, Beta.
Okay. Now, we're gonna get our packet component. We're gonna components.packet, packet.weaponswing.on server event connect function, player, and our character. We're doing pretty good here. So obviously, we will just reference the action. Yeah. So we're gonna go local root part, character find first child, humanoid root part. Now we don't have to check if these things exist because they exist in every rig, so you know, no need for sanity checks. Which a sanity check is just when you make sure something actually exists so it doesn't cause an error or break the game. And usually you can redivert it by using a function like xpcall or pcall. Okay. So we got the humanoid animator referenced. Cool. Now I'm going to show you guys how to make a very simple like table stun replicator, okay? So we're going to go into library, we're going to create a module script. Okay, we're going to name this module script stuns. Alright, we'll call it status library actually. Okay.
Bro, I don't want
Then
status.
what you want to do is you want to go, so we're going to call this local library, return our library. Then we're going to say shared. So this is just a global table. It's the same thing as _g if you guys know what that is. And we're going to go shared status bank equals shared status bank or empty table. So we're just saying we're setting status bank to status bank if it exists. If it doesn't exist, then we're gonna just set it as a random table, and we're gonna go local status bank equals shared status bank. Pretty chill, right? Then we're gonna go function library dot get.
Don't make any sense.
Okay. And we're gonna ask for our key, which is gonna be an instance. Okay. Then we're gonna return. We're gonna say if status bank key return status bank key. So if it exists, then we are going to return this key. All right. Pretty nice, pretty simple, you know. Let's go check them actually. Okay, we're good. Then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna say status bank, or we're gonna create our key first actually. So we're gonna say local key equals, we're gonna set our meta table. All right, and inside of this we're just gonna do key and our status, or I guess we'll call this our cache, will be nothing. And then our watchers will also be nothing. And we're just gonna say index function. I think it's key. We're gonna return self.cache key. This is why this shit is, sorry, this stuff is a little we'll leave this for later, okay? For now we're just gonna say return key. We're gonna say status bank key equals key. Pretty chill stuff.
I'm just trying to make me more stupid than I already am.
Yeah. We're gonna go key dot index function.
I don't speak vegetable.
X and Y. Now this is our meta table right here. Okay. And then this is our actual, and this is a meta method or a meta function. And every time we go key, we are indirectly calling out this index value. Okay. So we're just gonna print X and Y for now. And I'll actually show you guys. So we're gonna go require game.replicated.storage.combat.library.status library. Okay. Then we're gonna say get. We're gonna say workspace.spawn location. Alright, nil. Now we forgot to set a second table here. My bad. We're gonna set that to library. What do you mean? Set meta table.
What?
My bad, guys. Library, boom. Oh no. No or table. Yeah, this is a table, buddy. Alright, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go function library set. Okay, and from there, what we're gonna do is also let's just remove this new index stuff for now. I want to keep it simple. So this is your meta table. Meta tables have meta methods, and they're useful. That's all you got to know. These are our values, and every time we do self, every time we do self dot key, it's going to return this key. All right, pretty self-explanatory. So now what we want to do is we want to get another key, which can be literally string, and we're going to set it to a value, which can be either a number, or actually we'll just set it to anything. I don't really care. Anything but okay. Then we're gonna go self dot cache key equals value. Then what we want to do is we're going to go back to our packets here, and we're going to do class.replicate packets replicate status. We want our key packets.instance, or I guess our ID, and you want a string, and it could be anything. Now we're going to go up here. I'm going to say local packets equals require script.parent.parent.components.packet component. We're going to go packet and then let's also reference our run service run service. We're going to do if run service is server. Boom. I'm just playing. It's not. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go packet component dot replicate fire. Now we kind of want to fire all our clients. I don't think this has that, so we're just gonna go for index player in game dot players get players, and we're gonna go packet component dot replicate fire to a client with the player self dot key
coach
self dot cache, and then we were going to give them the key and the value. Okay, so just quick recap. We have the get value. If it exists, then we return it from the shared table. If it doesn't exist, then we create a new meta table. This just has special functions. We assign it to the library, and the actual meta table is here, the new meta.
This is bullying, coach. My jaw erroring.
Hold up. Okay. And then inside our status bank, we will assign key to key. Now I feel like this would look cleaner if we set it to self. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Set. And then when we want to set a value, we just do library set self.cache key equals value. Pretty easy. We just go into our cache, which has all of our status effects. And we set the key to the value. And if it's on the server, then we're going to replicate it to the client. All right. Pretty chill, I guess. And then now what we want to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to do meta tables. All right. Now these are all the, it's going to pop up soon, but it's going to show you all the meta methods. Okay, so you have set.new, yeah, all this stuff. You have remove, you have add. Now where's the actual meta method? There we go. So you have index new index, call, concatenate, add, subtract, multiply, divide, iterate, divide, modulus. These are all meta methods that you could add to your meta tables, but you don't have to. Right.
So, black and fried.
And a new index is when you try to set something to true. So we're gonna show you guys how to do this. I'm gonna go back here, and we're gonna go First off, these are supposed to be switched, and we're gonna go self dot index is gonna be equal to function table value. We're actually gonna return self dot cache value. Now it's an index, not really a value. So alright, and then self dot new index function table index value. Same thing, we are just going to call set with index and value. Alright, so what we did here is every time they index it by trying to use it as a dictionary or an array, we return it from the cache instead of from this overall thing. And whenever they try to set a value, we connect it to the set function. Okay, pretty chill. Now we're gonna go to our client,
That's someone DMing.
and we're gonna do local status library, acquire library.status library. Inside of here, we're gonna do packet component dot replicate the on client event connect function ID, key, and value. Then we're just gonna go status library dot get ID, set, key, and value.
See how to teach a newbie.
Alright, now we're just gonna go over it real quick. So you have your get function, you have your meta methods. Alright, and what we're doing here is we're pretty much replicating it to the client. Once the client receives it on combat client, so in combat client, you're just gonna do on client event from packet component dot replicate. Once they get it, we're gonna pass them an ID, a key, and a value. And from that, we're just gonna call the status library that we just made. We're gonna get the ID and we're gonna set it, and we're gonna provide them the key and value arguments. And this is gonna work because now it's on the client and the server. So now there might be a little jangle here with the meta table, but so far it looks okay. I gotta see, yeah. So that should be a pretty basic status library so far. Any questions, Lua?
I'm back 10 pages. You go as fast as a math teacher. This is how to teach a newbie, not how to teach the generation.
So you're just slow for real. Now,
When I said I had an error, that's when I mostly stopped.
where's your error?
The error is happening with whatever value. Oh shoot. Typed in one too many letters.
What script?
In the status library, I typed in 2 E's for the library set, key, and value. I typed 2 E's and value in the word value. Now I gotta catch up a bit.
Okay, well,
Well, a lot of it.
now we actually gotta connect this.
The
You guys are probably
power of a
wondering how
string.
we're gonna connect this. Well, now we have a get and we have a set function. We can set and get like stuns off of objects, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go local status. We're gonna call this local character status. Before we do that, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna do stat library equals require library dot status library. All right. Then in here, we're gonna go status library dot get character. All right, awesome. Then from there, we're gonna go. Let's print our character status actually. Again, we'll try to run. Okay, there we go. Works on the first try. So we have our cache, index, key, new index, and watchers. All right. Now we're gonna try. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go character status. Stunned goes true, and we'll play again. Watchers, cache key. Okay, so our new index is kind of being a bum. I just want to make sure I actually wrote new index correctly. Index. Okay. Return self set. Alright. And then let's try our set value as well. I'm gonna go character status set heavy to true. There we go. Attempt to call missing method set of table. What do you mean? Set. I want to know what happens when I remove this index thing. Same thing. So the set method is not existing. Library set. I'm just gonna set index to library for now. Same thing. What do you mean? It's a metadata about murder. Function library set. Okay, I see. So what are we gonna do here? So set. We just print self here for a second. Print itself. Gauge key, new index, watchers. To library. Okay. There we go. So if index doesn't exist, then we're actually gonna go in here, table xy, and we're gonna go return library x. There should be no y. Missing set. Alright. It should work. We did return self, yes. I'm gonna kill you.
Wow, right after I was coughing.
I know.
And I was about to die on something.
I know.
Nuh-uh. That's why I'm over here rewatching the stream to the script.
And inside of here,
such a sucky teacher.
I know.
I should get an apology note after this.
Okay, there we go. It actually works. Yes. Alright, so the issue was I forgot the index up here. These boys start. I want to try new index. Let's print this. So I just want to show you guys this real quick. Comma status library. Okay, it's not working. So what we're gonna do for now. So now we have our character status. Yeah, and then now we're gonna do our actual hitbox. So inside of our hitbox, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna do hitbox library, and I'm just gonna do local library, return library, function library casts. See that there? We want a character, which is a model, and then C frame size is a vector 3, and a blacklist. And we're going to do a local params equals overlap params.new. We're going to set the filter type so it's exclude, so breakcast filter type to exclude, and filter to send instances equals blacklist. Now overlap params is for 3D arrays, and raycast params is for 2D. And we actually want to get our products, so we're gonna do local products workspace, get parts, bound and box. We're gonna create an imaginary box pretty much. So set the C frame, set the size. I should probably make this a lowercase f so it doesn't confuse the script. Size and the parameters. Hashtag products, and we're just gonna go. And we're gonna do local filter targets. Hashtag products equal to 0. Then we're gonna return filtered. So we're just gonna put a hashtag here. It just means the number of items inside the table. This is going to return us a table, and we're gonna check if it has 0 items in it. Then we're just gonna return filter targets, which has nothing in it. And then after that, we're gonna filter through filter targets. So for index object in filter targets, if object dot parent find first child humanoid table.insert filter targets object.parent, and we will be returning filter targets. So what we did here is we made a for loop going through products, not filter targets. Then we're going to check the parent, alright, and then after that we're going to see if it has a humanoid. If it has a humanoid, then we're going to insert the parent of that object to the filter targets, and finally once we're done looping through it, we will return filter targets. Alright, pretty self-explanatory. Now, what we're going to do here is, I feel like we should have some proper animations. For now, we will do no animations. Okay. So out of here, we're gonna do local targets. Let's also reference our hitbox library. Acquire library.hitbox targets hitbox library.cast. And I want the character. We're going to do the root part .cframe times cframe.new 0 0 -3, so it's in front of the character, 3 studs. And we're going to set the size to 4 on the X, 6 on the Y, 4 on the Z. And the blacklist will be, we'll just create a folder, call it extra. Put the base plate and spawn location in there. So we're going to do the character, and then we are going to do unpack workspace.extra get children, because when you do get children, it returns an array, and when you unpack it, it'll actually fit inside this table and there won't be any issues. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, we're gonna do a loop through the targets. So for index enemy, this is going to be a model. In targets, we will be getting their, we're going to do enemy status. It's going to be status library dot get enemy. And then inside of, we're going to create a separate library. And I just want to set this to be something like stun library. I know, real descriptive. I'm gonna set the class, turn the class, and we're just gonna create one called get. We'll do get attack status with the character, the target, and we're gonna ask them if they want to ignore the block. It's a boolean. Ignore block equals ignore block or false. So ignore block either equals ignore block or false. And then in here we're gonna get the status library. Status library. So we're gonna get character status. We don't really need that. We actually just need the target status. Get target. Alright, pretty chill. I know. Sorry. Okay. Target status. Okay. So we're gonna say if target status block, or then we're gonna do we're also gonna get their dot product. So we're gonna say character dot humanoid root part dot cframe dot look vector dot target dot humanoid root part dot cframe dot look vector. So this is gonna get the direction at which they're looking at each other. So I'm pretty sure if it's -1, they're facing the same direction. If it's 1, they're facing each other, and if it's 0, they're both facing a different direction. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do return. So we're gonna do dot product is greater than 0.5, then, or and, introducing you guys to Boolean values. Then we're gonna return block break, or target status. So if it's not over 0.5, if their posture is less than or equal to 0, then we're going to return block break. Otherwise, we're going to return block hit. Alright. So if the dot product is over 0.5, we're going to return block break. If the posture, or if that's not true, then we're going to check the posture. If it's equal to or less than 0, then we're going to return block break. Otherwise, block hit. And an if target status parry. So if they're parrying, return. So if the dot product is more than 0.5, then I'm going to set it to clean hit. Otherwise, we're going to return parry. And then other than that, we're going to return clean hit. And if they're dodging, for instance, we're not going to add a dodging system, but if they are dodging, then we're going to return dodge. Okay. I feel like it's okay, I guess. Yeah. Alright. So now what we want to do is we want to go up here to where is it? Combat server. Local attack status. And let's get the stun library. Library.stun library. Go stun library dot get attack status. The character, the enemy, and no, we don't want to. Or we're gonna leave that false. And then finally, what I'm gonna do is inside here in combat server, we're gonna create a module script, and we're gonna call this outcomes. And I'm literally just gonna return a table. So we're gonna have clean hits, block break, parry, block hit, and missed. I think it's dodged. And in every single one of these, so by holding Alt, clicking in every single set of parameters, we want a character, a target, character and a target. And then what we're gonna go is we're gonna go back here, and we're gonna go. We're gonna create a little subclass here, so we're just gonna call this combat class. We're gonna go function combat class dot new. and function combat class dot gets. Okay, and then we're gonna go combat class dot cache. We're gonna need a character model here, and we're gonna do local. We're gonna do local self set meta table combat class dot index combat class return to self, and we're going to do return combat class dot cache. We're going to need a character, which is a model. We're going to do self dot character humanoid self dot root part humanoid root part animator. Then we want to have our combo, our max combo, our air swing interval, self dot finisher interval. Okay. Okay, pretty chill for now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go players dot player added connect function. We're gonna get the player, and the player dot character added, we're gonna connect it to combat class dot new. And then we're just gonna do the same thing just in case. So this is just in case there's a player that joined before the script ran. So alright. Yeah. Combat class dot new player dot character. Okay, pretty chill. Pretty cool so far, you know, nothing too crazy. Is this peak? I've actually been learning peak. I don't know why I'm sub to you, by the way. Oh, that's crazy. See how bad my latency is. I don't know why I'm sub to you. Bro. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is, so we have this combat class which creates all these values and sets it for every individual character, and this is, instead of doing it on the client, it's actually more efficient if we just do it on the server, because then we don't have to track it on the client and the server, which becomes a pain in the bum later, right? Inefficiency. And then finally we're gonna go combat class dot cache. Well, it's not really finally, but you know, give me guys false hope. Character equals self. And I'm just gonna add a little shared events here. We're gonna do shared get combat class get. There we go. And then now we need to get our enemy out, so our outcomes. Require script dot outcomes, and we are just gonna go.
I promise you, chat. This is peak.
Task dot spawn outcomes. We're gonna give them the character and the enemy. And inside of outcomes, we're gonna do square brackets attack status. Would you look at that? Beautiful.
Are we now?
Yes.
Mm.
And then let's get the character class. It's going to be combat class dot get character. And now we're going to do our cooldown. So we're going to do if bracket but I made well, I'm gonna show you how to do it blocking, don't worry. So we're gonna do if bracket if os dot clock minus where is it? Oh, yeah, minus character class dot sorry, swing interval is less than, let's say like 0. Let's actually give this a value. Self.swing cooldown. Set this to like 0.3 and finisher cooldown. Set this to 1. Less than self or combat class dot swing cooldown. Or os.clock minus character class dot finisher interval is less than character class dot finisher cooldown. Then we're just going to return. Then we're going to do combat class dot combo, or sorry, character class combo plus equals 1. Alright, if character class dot combo equals 5, character class dot combo equals 1, character class dot finisher interval equals os dot clock, and before that character class dot swing interval is os dot clock. When we set it to os dot clock, we're just resetting the cooldown. And then yeah, now we can go out to outcomes here, and we might have to go back here and copy a lot of this bird, just like so, because we want it useful, you know. So if it's a clean hit, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go local target, we're gonna go local target status library dot get target. Alright, and inside our status library, we're actually gonna do library temp status. Alright, we're gonna give it a string key a value of honest, and there's no value, we're just gonna set the duration. Alright, so if self dot watchers key, then self dot watchers key plus equals duration, sorry, key plus equals duration, return. If there is no key, we're going to do self dot watchers key equals duration. Then we're going to do a task dot spawn.
I suggest checking your chat more often.
It's midnight. You should stay to see how I handle locking on God. Well, and then inside of here, what we're gonna say is while os.clock minus self dot, oh yeah, star is less than self dot less than or equal to self dot watchers key. It's gonna wait, And once that's done, we're gonna do self dot watchers key goes to nil, and then self set key false, self set key true. I know, beautiful, isn't it? And it stacks. So now what we're gonna do is this status library temp status. We're gonna go out to outcomes, target status, temp status, stunned for 0.3 seconds, temp status, slow, we're gonna do light slow, 0.3 seconds. Then we're gonna go local target humanoid, which is a humanoid, target root part, target find first child humanoid root part, and then target animator, target find first, or that'd be target humanoid find first child, which is a animator. Then we're just gonna go target humanoid. So we never actually want the damage to go below 1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go it's gonna create a little function here. Function calculate damage. Humanoid damage. Return humanoid dot health minus damage is less than 1, and then we're gonna return just humanoid dot health minus 1 or damage. Pretty easy. Alright, if when you take away the damage from the health it's less than 1, then we're just gonna return the amount of health the humanoid has by 1. And if that's not the case, then we just return damage. So target humanoid, take damage, calculate damage. We have the target humanoid, and I'm gonna go for like, we could all, let's make this a little more organized. Let's go ahead and do local root part, character find first child, humanoid root part, local humanoid, character find first child, which is a humanoid, and animator. Humanoid find first child, which is a animator. Alright, so we reference these, and then let's also get our our character class. So we're gonna do shared get combat class character. I think that's how it went. Yeah, shared get combat class. And then now we're gonna go up here and we're gonna say self.swing damage equals random.new next number 5 to 10. Self.finisher damage random.new next number 5 to, let's do like 12 to 13.5. Also, this is going to generate a number with a ton of decimals, which is kind of why I like it. More random. Then block break damage. Next number 15 to 16. Honestly, 16. And then finally, yeah. Also, finisher damage just means the final hit, the finisher. And then now we're going to do character class dot swing damage. Okay. it is giving us an error. Line 37 got end. Oh, we're missing parameter. Now let's go ahead and try this. Index now with swing interval. We're just gonna do if not player.character, then player.character added. Wait end. Then we're gonna do a combat class.new. Player.character. We're gonna do the same thing here. Go ahead and play this. Got another error. Attempt to compare number to nil. Okay. Why is that? Combat class. Swing cooldown. Let's go ahead and print. Oh, did I do? It's character class. I guess we just gotta look out for it. Just make sure you look out for that. There we go. Okay, nothing happening so far. Let's go ahead and add a dummy here. Can I just even get, okay, there we go. And inside of the humanoid, we'll make it so we always see his health. Okay, let's see now. When we walk up to him, boom. Oh, yeah, it's definitely doing damage. Now we also got to do one more thing here. In the hitbox, we forgot to make sure to check that the character doesn't already exist. So we're gonna say and not filtered targets and not table dot find filtered targets object dot parent. We're just making sure that we haven't already counted the target. Since we go back to this guy, yeah, there you go. See, now we're doing a ton of damage. And his health never goes below 0. Never, ever, ever. So that later on in the series, we can actually add a knock and not knock system, you know? Pretty nice so far. And we also added our attempt status to him. So let's go ahead and do this for the rest of this stuff. So we're literally just going to copy this code right on over. Have our character class. I'm gonna set stun to 1.3, like 1.15 seconds. And we're gonna give him a heavy slow, which means he can't move at all for at least like 0.8 seconds. And we're gonna set the character class to block break damage. And then let's also do target status set block false, target status set posture 4. Okay, rinse and repeat. This doesn't actually do anything. All we're gonna do here is we are going to give we're actually gonna get our character status. So combat sorry, shared get, no, how do you, sorry, we're gonna do status library dot get character status set stun for like 0.05. That's it. Not gonna do nothing crazier than here. And if they do have parry, so just go back to this line and make sure you also set parry to false, just in case you hit them from behind. Let's also do that in here. We're gonna set the parry to always to false. And then block hit. So let's get our target status again. We're gonna do target status set target status target status dot, what is it? Oh yeah, posture -1, and when I say posture, there. And then later on, I'm going to teach you guys how we're going to replicate VFX. And for here, we're just going to return dodged. We're not going to do anything crazy. Okay. And in here, we're just going to give this guy a script. I'm going to go local status library, require game.replicate storage.combat.library.status library, status library.get script.parent set block to true. We're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to set the posture to 4. Okay, this is going to be our block dummy. And then our parry. And just here. And all we're going to do is at the start of every single one, we're going to do clean. We're going to print clean here. Block break.
Is there going to be a VOD?
Yes, there is going to be a VOD. And then there's going to be parry here. And there's going to be block hit here. And then print dodged here. Now let's try this out. So clean hits. I don't know what's saying clean. Hold up. I just want to double check dot product. Real quick. Yes, there's gonna be a VOD. Did you make all of these systems in this stream? Yes, I did, dog.
Why don't you read in chat now after I already replied?
Oh, I forgot. So dot product Roblox. There's a really cool forum here. I'll post it. You guys can find it yourselves, actually. But if they're looking the same way, it's going to be 1. If they're looking opposite, so it actually has to be over. Okay, so we're going to go back to our stun library. Yeah. If target status block. I just want to print target status here. See what we got. Boom, boom. So this one was the block. Cache block is true. Posture is 4. Okay. Time to go back to our status library. And I really need to make it so when they read it, they get it from cache. this is. Oh my god. Meta tables. Meta methods. Index meta method. We're learning together, guys. Okay, hold up. Now if I go to status library, you're the new index. We don't really need this. Index here. And we gotta put this up here. So library dot index equals function table index. If table cache, then return table cache index, otherwise return table index return. Alright boys, so we have broken the code. Crazy.
Broken decode.
Now pretty
like
easy
monkey
fix.
D. Luffy.
All I want to do for now is let's just return table index. And I kind of just want to see what it prints for now. I know I'm overcomplicating it, but
before I print you.
Oh, so it has pretty much. Oh, set. Holy moly. I'm just gonna do holder.
Bro can't get any more yappish.
If holder. Okay, if holder cache index return holder cache index. I think this should work now. Holy moly. C stack overflow. I feel you on that. Oh, it's constantly returning. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. What if I just return library? A good old guy. Dodged. Okay. Saying all of them dodged.
Yeah, they all learned how to dodge. Blockberry dodge.
Let's see. Who's the newbie supposed to be? Disrespect is crazy. Oh
It's
God.
not disrespect when they don't even know me. You didn't even introduce me.
Oh.
Stream, hi, my name is Lua here. And this little newbie is like 30 minutes behind. All because I got one error and you didn't want to stop talking.
Okay, guys, so for now, sprint.
You're gonna give me a long, hard apology after this.
100%, yeah, you deserve it. Okay, there we go. Dodge. Okay. So what I'm gonna do for now, guys, is we're gonna keep library.index at library. Okay. And then yeah, we will continue the stream later on. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's like it's been an hour and a half, though. It's a pretty long stream. Okay, if you guys have any questions, just join the Discord.
I was forced against my will.
Yeah, and this guy was my test dummy. Also, this meta table stuff, I did not plan for this entire thing. So, yeah, we're gonna learn about it together. Yeah.